Guys of a Certain Age is brought to you by no one. Absolutely no one. Except these dudes walking down memory lane. Now let's head to the studio to see what they misremember next.
It's like the most wonderful time of the year. It's the most wonderful time of the week. It's the podcast Guys of a Certain Age. Robbie Colvance in studio alongside
Art Shirley
and Jay Reed.
We're all back together.
I feel like I need to break into song with that intro.
I know.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. Well, that's double bass going there.
That was double something
It's
going.
funny that we both
Robbie podcasting.
Okay. Sorry.
Sorry, I had nothing. I was like,
sorry, I unleashed that upon the airwaves or the podcast waves or what have you.
with sounds for your ears, it's the most wonderful time of the year. I was going to go into the final, but that's okay. We'll rehearse this.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Can I come back now?
Yeah, sure.
All right, we're back. This is
Chestnuts roast.
Hey, you did get that book from me. That's right. Okay, I'm back.
Oh, that's the book.
Yeah, that's the book. We'll talk about that at some point later. Who knows? Anyway, we're going to jump into Geeks of the Week. We have not coordinated our Geeks of the Week. Nobody knows who's doing what, so who wants to go first?
I'll go first, just in case everybody else has this one too. We mentioned earlier that Mads Mikkelsen is going to be playing, or is being considered to play, Dr. Doom in the Fantastic Four. In the meantime, I found a video that said we've been mispronouncing Mads Mikkelsen's name. It's actually Mass Mikkelsen or Moss Mikkelsen.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. But now I found out that yet another person whose name we mispronounce is also being considered Cillian Murphy, which we've always called Cillian Murphy. Yeah, but it's
Cillian?
It's like Celtic. Yeah.
Not Celtic.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
The basketball team are the Celtics, but the Celts were the...
But Mr. Murphy's Celtic.
Yeah. And he's Cillian Murphy.
And he's being
get the last name. Now I can get the first name, but not the last name.
So when he wins his Oscar for Oppenheimer, do you think
They won't get it right.
they probably won't?
Nope.
Get it. No, not at all. I would have to think he's the front runner for best actor.
Best Oppenheimer.
Yeah. No, he's not the only Oppenheimer I know. I had a advisor in college who was an Oppenheimer.
Really?
Distant cousin too. Yeah.
Did you go in and say, I think I bombed on that test? Too soon. Sorry.
Too soon.
Where's that drum roll button?
I don't know.
Rim
It's
shot.
one of them. I think is it this one?
No.
No, but that might have been more appropriate.
That's the one that's
the
that's
J
used
button.
most often.
Oh,
we
that's-
really need to get you some labels.
Yeah.
Or a chart.
That was it. Right?
There we go.
There we go.
There you
All
go.
right.
That's it.
Feel better.
Yeah.
All right. Jay, what's your Geek of the Week?
My Geek of the Week is sort of obituary, and I talked about this once before. Marty Krofft passed away, of the brothers Sid and Marty Krofft.
Yeah.
Have y'all already talked about this?
No, we haven't.
Okay.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Marty Krofft,
Sid
Land
Marty
of the
Krofft?
Loft. Land of the Loft.
Land of the Lost. Land of the Lost.
HR
Sigmund and the
puppet
Sea
stuff.
Monsters.
Yeah.
Lidsville.
Not to be confused with the Limberlost in Indiana.
No. Cricket.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, he did all those live action Saturday morning stuff that, started to take the place of
Right.
cartoons.
And I think we talked way back about my visit to Sid
Yes.
and Marty Krofft World at the Omni in Atlanta.
Yes.
And I was looking back today at
Sure.
some of the facts about that. Apparently, it only lasted like 5 months. So
They waited till
So,
Jay came.
collector's item, whatever. If I have my ticket, which I probably still do.
Yeah.
It's it didn't last long. It was a huge investment of money and time, and some of the rides. I remember my dad really was excited.
It was
about
the Galaxy Edge of its day, right?
So what?
Maybe.
What did he do? Thunderbirds?
No, that was Jerry Anderson.
Okay. So what did he do? Land of the Lost.
Land of the Lost was probably what
Sigmund and the Sea Monsters,
Don't remember
HR
that.
Puffin stuff,
Okay.
Lidsville, the Bugaloos.
Yeah, and they were involved in a bunch of other, involved in
These
a
are all
Six
these
Flags
are all
rides,
my age stuff, so.
before they did their
Yeah.
own park. But what I was reading today was saying that, Atlanta built the Omni Center in the middle of downtown Atlanta in the early 70s, when at the same time, ironically, Atlanta was the murder capital of the U.S.
Wow.
at that same time. So it wasn't a great time to be developing things downtown
Or to
and
be
that may have-
lost.
Yeah.
land of the lost investment. But
Ah.
but it was fun.
There you go.
I mean, I remember I have a vivid memory of the giant pinball machine you got inside a pinball and bounced around the pinball machine.
That's what happened to you.
That could be related. Yeah.
Rusty was behind that. He played a mean pinball.
That's right. So,
Ooh, I bet. Did you feel like breaking into song?
I
again?
did, yes.
Ever
Since I was a young man, I played the silver ball. From Soho down to Brighton, I
I'm
must
just
have
humming
played
now.
them all.
I don't know all the words to that one.
But I ain't seen nothing like him in any amusement hall. That deaf, dumb, and blind Rusty
Sure plays a mean pinball.
Who knew this would be a musical episode?
Who?
I tell you what, I don't know if the listeners are anywhere near as entertained as we are today. If they're half as entertained,
Chances are low.
All right.
But anyway, Marty Krofft passed away. Land of the Lost redone. I'm pretty sure I watched it, but it wasn't memorable.
Yeah.
But
also
anyway,
Henry Kissinger passed away.
What?
that's
Henry
right.
Henry
At age
Kissinger passed away.
100.
Yeah.
Oh, Kissinger.
Yes.
Zombie Kissinger.
Yeah.
I mean, Henry Kissinger. Yeah.
Which, one of those, sad to hear, but 100 years old. Wow. And he was still traveling to China. I mean, he went to
Really?
China this year. Yeah.
Okay.
Dr. Kissinger.
Yeah. Dr. Kissinger. Wow.
Which is ironic because we talked about The Offer, and he was actually a character in the last episode of The Offer.
Ah. I'd forgotten that.
Very briefly.
Yeah.
Didn't
I
look
forgot
like him,
that.
but
I have to
anyway.
watch that again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
All right. Is that it?
that's it.
All right. I've got a geek that I thought you might get, Jay.
Oh well, you never know.
Well, so Columbia has announced their new Star Wars winter collection for Hoth.
Oh.
So Columbia
pretty
has
good.
a new
I thought
Hoth. What's
I thought
that?
you were going with Columbia Records and tapes when you said it was Jay's.
Yeah, they're
fair.
closing out some 8-tracks.
Yeah.
So you remember in the Hoth battle sequence in Empire Strikes Back, everybody was in orange flight gear.
Yes.
Now you two can buy said flight gear.
Yikes. I might have to do that.
It actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find the pricing. I had the pricing a little bit
This
ago.
is like winter wear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm showing the picture.
Nice.
So you can get a full jumper. Let's see that the jumper is only $500.
Yeah. Can we call that a flight suit?
It's a pilot ski suit, is what it is. The Skywalker pilot ski suit.
I'm curious where. So it's an actual it's ski wear.
Yeah, you can actually
it's
buy it today.
insulated, so yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it wouldn't be something we could wear around here more than once or twice a year.
Well,
So the ski jacket looks really cool. It's $350.
Ski jacket.
Oh, yeah.
That may be worth getting right there. I mean,
you
it
like
doesn't look. It doesn't look so
You could hunt in
obnoxious,
it as well.
You
It's
know,
bright orange.
This is probably more the pilot lightweight jacket for $200.
there we
Probably
go.
more
Looks
in
like
our
that's more our stuff.
Yeah, more in our temperament.
And it doesn't have like a caricature of Yoda on the back of it, which is nice.
No, but you get the pilot pullover, which looks like something you would probably snuggle up in with a cup of hot cocoa.
Yeah.
With so, but
Or a cup
yeah.
of hot blue milk.
Yeah, there you go, hot blue milk. So blueberry milk, hot blueberry milk. So now you have the long sleeve shirts with the
See, that's when
depictions.
that's when you start to get into the real.
Yeah, so you've got Luke looking over Dak's dead body, not Prescott, but his gunner, and looking
forgot
at
his
an
name was
at.
Dak.
It is looking at an at, and then there's a short sleeve shirt.
At.
That's right. There's a short sleeve shirt for $55 that has schematics of the snow speeder.
Okay, then that might be worth getting.
I love the snow speeder
that's
because that was
one of my favorite vehicles.
I got it for Christmas in I think it was 1980. I got
the
it for
one
Christmas.
that's scale for the 3.5. What size were the
Yeah,
action
the
figures?
3.5 inch. They
Yeah.
weren't dolls. They were
That's what- I
action
was not gonna say
figures.
dolls. Yep.
You can also get pilot snow goggle glasses for
Those aren't
$300.
too bad either.
Yeah.
See, I've been to plenty of
if you're
stores that still,
skiing.
Or the
I was gonna
crossbody
say.
bag for $50.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's sold out already.
Oh, well, it's because it's the cheapest thing on the menu.
The goggles are
I'd
sold
have to
out.
lose some weight
Oh wow.
before I'll be mistaken for Jabba
The
the Hutt.
pilot the pilot ball cap is still available.
So is it all online? I mean, I wonder if it's
Yeah.
available in a store. Because
No,
I've been to plenty
unfortunately,
of
you have to go to
stores.
Hoth to buy it.
I've been to plenty of stores that sell Columbia. I've never seen any Star Wars gear. Apparently
I
they
think
do it.
it's
Like
available
Academy Sports.
online
Academy Sports has it
only.
right now.
Who?
Academy Sports.
They don't have
Star Wars
this.
stuff?
No, he didn't know about it till he walked in. So ski suit limit 1 per customer. All other styles limit 2 per customer.
Wow.
Yeah, I think they got their hopes up.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because
check back in a month.
Yeah, please, we'll give you a ski suit. We'll give you 2 for $500.
right, yeah.
So, but you could
after
go to
Christmas
Columbia
sale.
right now, Jay, and order you something.
Right. I just mean I've never seen any Star Wars stuff in a Columbia section like Belk or any place like that I would normally see. Columbia
Yeah, they
stuff.
just debuted today. This is the special collection.
Yeah, but they've had Star Wars stuff before today, and I've just never seen it before.
because they're hiding from you.
Well, apparently I missed the deadline. Somebody got there one before I did.
Now you know. Today is the day. Today is your day.
Well,
To order
you may
a-
have some gifts for Christmas coming that you don't know about.
Not for me.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Wait.
I am your gift, Jay. I'm your gift from me. You know this. Yes,
He's the gift lord.
What's the return policy?
Well, there's no receipt though. Oh, all right. So we're
He's
gonna.
got receipts.
He's got receipts. He really does. But he's put them somewhere and he can't find them.
That's right.
All right, we're gonna go to the second half. Jay, you got something else to say? You look like you're about to. Are you sure?
I'm sure, unless you wanted me to do one of these.
No,
Probably, let's
we'll-
wait on that.
Let's wait on that.
Okay.
We'll wait on that. We'll lay on that.
That'll be our 2024
Oh, we're out of
new
time.
feature.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
right.
that's a good idea.
That is. And this may be.
The last year.
No,
No, just kidding.
no, we've got 2 more shows before we hit 2024. So, okay. Let's go to the second half of the show. We're going to talk Loki.
Loki.
Up next. And we're back. We're going to talk Loki since we're all here. Not Heike, but Loki. Loki season 2, actually. So, initial responses to Loki. What did you guys think?
I thought it started off slow, but I really liked it as it got midway through.
As opposed to Midgard through.
Yeah, that's right.
What about you, Jay?
I like the characters. I liked the story. We'll get more into that. I was not crazy about the ending, personally.
Really?
But I enjoyed watching it.
I kind of like the ending.
I loved the ending. I thought the ending was
Yeah, I
fabulous.
figured I would be
The lone man out.
The lone man out on that one, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So it picks up where Loki season 1 left off. It has
Yeah.
hints of Kang the Conqueror in it because you had what was it? Timely Arthur. Arthur Timely.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Anyway, played by Jonathan Majors, who was cast as Kang the Conqueror. We saw him in Quantum Mania. We saw him in Loki season 1 as He Who Remains.
Yeah.
So
Has some issues that with his casting now that are probably going to take him out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is not to speak to whatever has happened, allegedly happened, but he's an incredible actor.
it's a very, very good actor.
I mean, he made each one of those personalities of Kang completely different.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so Loki ends up back in the TVA.
Yeah.
Because they've killed He Who Remains, and so they've got to prevent the destruction of the Prime Timeline because of all the combining and whatnot. And so we meet Obi, one, I guess, Ouroboros. How do you pronounce his name?
I don't know.
Ouroboros, but
yeah.
And then Ki, what's his?
Ki-Hoi Kwan?
Ki-Hoi Kwan?
Yeah,
Right?
which he kind of stole the show. He was
I think so
fabulous.
too. Just really
Yeah.
good to see him in it.
Yeah.
And that's what I meant by characters. I really enjoyed watching him, his acting, his character. I love the Loki character, Owen Wilson, all of that. Just,
And the supporting characters were good. I mean, the villainous people that they had, some of the things that when they went into that shrinking box thing, that was something else.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. So the resolution is that Loki realizes.
Spoiler alert if we haven't said it already.
Well, it's a review. It's a spoiler. Come
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
Mervin. You
It
know
is spoiler,
better.
yeah.
You know better. You too, George. Speak to 2/3 of our audience just like that.
And
like
Mrs.
we're on
Reed is
Romper Room.
not watching Loki. So.
Yeah.
I feel like we're watching Romper Room. I hear Mervin and George. I never called my name on Romper Room. Do you know what I'm talking about? Romper
I know
Room?
exactly what you're talking
I
about.
know what Romper Room is, but I never watched Romper
She
Room.
had this mirror frame that was empty, and she'd be looking at it like, I think it was a magnifying glass or something. I don't know what it was. Anyway,
just
she'd
heard
say,
the name.
and I would say, I see so and so, like she's looking into the TV and seeing you in the audience.
Never called Art.
Never called Art.
Art was dead.
That's right.
Were you ever on Uncle Bunky?
No, I wasn't. We didn't live here, so I wasn't on Uncle
my brother
Bunky,
was
but,
on it.
Yeah.
So
Of course.
our claim to fame.
Boy, that was from Loki to Uncle Bunky.
To Rusty again.
Bunky, season 2.
So
Anyway,
we end up with Loki as a king because remember Odin said both my sons are destined to be kings. He becomes the king of time. I'm waiting for Doctor Who to show up and take it from him. Ends up in the tree, which is an Asgardian legend, and he looks like his classic costumed character.
Yes.
And so he has now become the god of stories as opposed to the god of mischief.
Yeah.
And he's weaving the stories together at the end of time.
And he's redeemed, basically.
He is absolutely redeemed.
so did you get all of that from pulling things together, or did you? See, I didn't get all those details.
I didn't get all those details.
The
either.
god of stories, the god of time, the king that was proclaimed. I didn't get any of that. I got that he grabbed a bunch of strings and held everything together. I mean,
You thought
I know
he
that's
basically
very
Geppetto.
simplistic, but yeah, well,
So he
it's
woke.
like Loki saves the day. The end. It was kind of like, okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of a payoff from Thor 1 and some stuff in Thor 2 as well. So I read some analysis, but I also knew that in the comics, he'd become the god of stories. And so this is how he redeems himself and ends up on his throne at the end of time.
So the stories in the sense of all the timelines
That's
that
right.
he's maintaining.
That's
now?
right.
Okay.
See, I didn't know that either, but it didn't. I still enjoyed because I got the redemption, I guess, if nothing else, and figured, okay, after having been basically a bad guy, although Loki was never.
It's more of an anti-hero.
Anti-hero, yes.
Thank you, Taylor Swift.
Hey,
it's me. I'm sorry.
Oh, now Robbie's going to sing.
Yeah.
It's a complete musical video. Video.
It's not a video. It's a podcast.
The Eras podcast.
The Errors podcast. The Errors podcast. That is more like it. So we've got this complete redemption arc, but then, as we get into the Kang dynasty, we have Loki still sitting out there. And you've got to think Hiddleston's going to come back as this redeemed Loki god of stories as opposed to his previous god of mischief.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. Do you think he'll come back in some
I think
fashion?
He's got to.
Okay.
And there's been talk about he would become the next big bad instead of Kang if it's not Doctor Doom.
I really want to go with Doctor Doom. I think I don't mind seeing Loki again, but I think it's time to move, to something.
Move on over to Copycat?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, and the Loki TV series to me has made Loki
Good.
much more of a good guy.
Yeah.
Than
So,
the bad.
so to have him come back as a villain would seem kind of to undermine what's happened in this show.
Yeah,
for sure.
How'd you guys like the temporal loop when he was learning everything and coming through and realizing?
I usually have a problem with those kind of things,
Yeah.
like Groundhog Day. The concept is good, but after a while, it's kind of and there's a lot of shows that do that. But this was kind of entertaining. I mean, and I think it was in a large part because he made it entertaining. Like when he would come in and go, yeah, and then I know all this, and then when he said, how long would it take me to learn all the stuff that Obi knew? What was it? Hundreds
Like
of
90
years,
years,
yeah.
or
hundreds of years.
Yeah.
It was like 600 years
And,
later.
okay, so and then he does it, but
So, and that was kind of the saving grace of it, because I think the whole timeline and redoing it. I mean, you got the Flash movie, all the things.
Yeah.
Well, Doctor Who too.
Well, it's just almost too much. It's being overdone. I think, and I think that's what kind of gave me the disappointments at the end. It's just, okay, well, here we go again.
There were 2 episodes of Doctor Who towards the end of Capaldi's run where he basically, it was 1,000 years where he was getting killed and then timelines reset and he's trying to break through this wall of ice, and it takes him 1,000 years to do it. Reminded me a lot of what they did with Loki. So, a fun little piece. So the character of OB was originally planned to be a variant of Mobius.
Oh, okay.
And so it was going to be Owen Wilson, who I think did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Owen Wilson with red hair and red mustache, mutton chop. So, and boy, I tell you, his Mobius's story became really sad for me when you realize that when you looked in on the timeline and he had 2 jet skis, one from his late wife, and he just always had this yearning for jet skis, his connection to his late wife, even as his memory has been wiped. That was pretty sad. So, but
what about Sylvie in this one? Sylvie. Is that her name?
Yeah,
Sylvie?
yeah. I thought she was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked her.
I like her quite a bit. And the guy who wrote Loki season 1 and 2 is now writing the Avengers King Dynasty movie since they lost their director, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So,
but it's still King Dynasty. It's still going to be.
that's the operating title.
Right now, that's the working title, and it may be subject to change. Doom
Yeah.
Dynasty or
Doom Dynasty. That sounds pretty. We need to
copyright that.
Yeah, that's right. So, but anyway, so generally we liked all. If I recall correctly, all three of us liked Loki season 1. We like Loki season 2.
Yeah,
for the most part,
degrees.
Varying degrees. But to me, it's one of the more essential building blocks of the Marvel Cinematic Universe going forward. Speaking of, Bob Iger has come out and said, the reason Marvel movies have sucked is because Bob Chizek, who I left in charge, couldn't run a movie studio.
Wow.
Completely threw him under the bus this week. And so you've had this complete reboot of Marvel where they've changed how they approach their TV shows. Anna DaCosta, I think I'm pronouncing your name right, who directed The Marvels, which we're going to talk Marvels, I think, next episode, thrown under the bus because she left while the movie was still in post-production.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because the Marvels had been delayed so much. She had something starting in London with Tess Thompson, who played Valkyrie, that she had to get to London to do, and they were in post-production. So, but I think I think it was Iger who said there wasn't as much executive influence on the Marvels as there needed to be.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hence the reason. So it's going to be curious going forward, but I think Loki too was a success. All in all, I mean, would you guys agree?
Yeah. I enjoyed watching. I look forward to watching it.
What's the next series?
I think Daredevil Born Again.
Okay,
but
not Echo.
No, Echo. You're right.
Okay,
you're right. Echo's next. I think they're going to drop Echo all
at once.
All at once. Okay. What If is going to start 12 days before Christmas.
Okay,
and they're going to release an episode a day.
Do you want to do the 12 Days of Christmas real quick? I don't.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. I mean, we just stopped and we looked at Jay. So
you were talking about snuggling with hot cocoa earlier. That felt like a snuggling with hot cocoa.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
Yeah, I didn't know where you were going with that either. So
we call him Hot Cocoa. Jay Reed.
Wow. All right, so Loki 2, we recommend it. I mean, we should give our guys of a certain age rating. I mean, is it 4 guys, 3 guys, 2 guys? What do we do? We can't be 5 guys. Yeah. So, because we would need 2 other guys. So, do we give it a 2 out of 3?
Well, that's kind of the way the vote landed in a sense. I mean, but I would
2.5.
2.5.
2.5 guys.
Yeah.
2.5 guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a good. Going forward, we will rate this way.
I think we'll do that. So, all right. That's a shorter episode after the Las Vegas trip last week, which clocked in at like 54 minutes. You have to listen to it this weekend.
I was listening to it on the way over here.
Because I dropped it early for you.
For me? Oh, how nice.
Just for you.
Just for you.
I thought you would listen to it on the way over. So.
2 out of 3 guys had already heard it.
But only 1 out of 3 remembers.
Yeah, that's right.
It's because he just listened to it. So 2 out of 3 guys recommend the Vegas podcast. So, all right. Rock and roll. We'll see you next week.
Okay.